close the night out right. Panel at the table in that half-dead light. Miss Robin in the middle, calling every shot, directing and producing, till the story runs hot. 1-1 from the city, badge heavy on his chest, towing that law like a wicked chain, spitting facts, no rest. Crimes after dark, we close the night out right. Tear through the lies till the wrong sounds like a fight. All of the answers buried so deep out of sight. We watch the threads unravel, we watch the threads ignite. DJ in the corner, state of the deep in his head. Which lies to toss and which ones to keep instead. Dago from the cafe says forget about it, leans back, spins his thoughts like a blade cutting holes in the track. Lee at the front, head advocate, steady stare, every word like a warning, every silence a dare. All of them leaning in, clock crawling, eyes bright. Every secret feels louder than the buzzing of the night. Crimes after dark, we close the night out right. Tear through the lies till the wrong sounds like a fight. All of the answers buried so deep out of sight. We watch the threads unravel, we watch the threads ignite. You can bury it in paper, you can lock it in a file, but the truth bleeds through, drip by drip, tile by tile. We're dragging it to daylight, name by name, line by line. If you wrote it in the shadows, we'll read it out this time. Yeah. Crimes after dark, we close the night out right. Tear through the lies till the wrong sounds like a fight. All of the answers buried so deep out of sight. We watch the threads unravel, we watch the threads ignite.
Well, hello out there, everyone. It's great to be here with you all again on another Crimes After Dark with Devil's Advocates. Tonight's a slightly different animal. Lee is dealing with kind of a little bit of an emergency, but he will be here a little bit later. But we do have Dego with us tonight from True Crime Cafe, of course. And I do believe today is a very special day for one's little man, Jackson. I believe this is his birthday, so happy birthday to him. So I do not believe that one will be here tonight, as of course you can imagine. They will be celebrating that very special day. So happy birthday to you, Jackson. And so what? Oh, I'm sorry. Saw something weird in the chat. Anyhow, so welcome on in, everyone. Welcome on in. I'm going to go ahead and bring up Dego to the stage here as long as he is ready. So there we go. Hello there, sir. How are you?
I am wonderful. How are you? Thank you for having me, and it's great to be here again.
Oh, yes, of course. Always a pleasure when you are with us, for sure.
Yes,
So,
grateful to be
how
here.
was your day?
It was good. It was good. I just ran a pretty interesting show. I had a good conversation with Lee this morning, about some of the stuff within the Idaho 4 case. And then I had my show, and I'm here now, so it's been a pretty good day. I can't complain.
Yeah,
Absolutely
yeah,
grateful to
sounds
be
like a
here.
busy day for you.
Always busy. It's never not busy, but yeah, definitely.
That
And I did
that's
my
for sure.
yeah, I had to do my honeydew stuff as well. That is all part of life here in this household. So that
Yep,
always comes first, and then I do this. So
yep,
here we are.
that's the honey-do list, that's important for sure,
Yeah, yeah,
definitely. So,
definitely.
but so what we want to talk about first tonight, and then we'll be tying in with some similarities to Idaho 4 and so forth, as we typically do. I'm going to go ahead and bring up an article. This is concerning an influencer by the name of Ashlee Jenae. I believe that's how you say her
Yeah,
quote unquote
Janae.
stage name, kind of. So I am not familiar with her, but let me add this to this stage. I'm going to get rid of that. The article. Do, do, do. Share screen. All right. Let me know whenever you guys can see this. There we go.
There it is.
Yeah. So, Ashlee Jenae, her real name is Ashlee Robinson. She I want to see if I can play this video as well. She is an influencer from I believe Instagram, and she and her new fiance were in Zanzibar, Tanzania,
Yeah,
and on a nice trip there. And apparently at the hotel that night, though, like they were staying at a villa, they had a severe enough fight that the, hotel folks decided that they needed to have separate rooms uh, for their own safety. So it was that severe that the actual hotel got involved at that point. So that's pretty crazy. So,
definitely,
um,
definitely. I agree with that. Wild stuff.
yeah. So I'm gonna see if I can play this video, maybe, or not. I guess not. It's not going to play. Well, anyhow. So, and then what happened was her fiance, Joe McCann, who's 45, she was 31. He, at first, when he went to um, her hotel room later on that night, he went there with a security guard to check on her and found her hanging from the door, her family said. They took her to the hospital. She was still alive at that point. They took her
Yikes.
to the hospital, and then later, uh, she unfortunately passed. Now, the official cause of death has not been announced, but the fiance, he did not call her family until like 11 hours later. So, that was also here again. We have this big delay. The other night we were talking about that the wife that fell over the
Yeah.
side of the dinghy, and the
Oh, the one that he
Hooker
pushed her
was
in,
his
I
last name.
believe.
Hooker,
Yeah,
Hooker.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So he didn't report his wife missing till 8 hours later or whatever it was, and then now this one, the fiance doesn't call her family until 11 hours after, she passes away. And, it's crazy.
Well, my first question
What
with this, Robin, is why did he take a security guard to the room to check on her right out of the
Right,
gate?
right.
That's
Why? I
odd.
mean, was the
That's
thought that bad that he was trying to say that he was afraid of her or something?
something's off with that right there. Sorry. Yeah, 100% something's not right there right away. So,
Exactly. Exactly. And, then, they're supposedly the police are saying that it was suicide. Like they're trying to call it a suicide. Her family's like, no way, because she's never exhibited any kind of suicidal tendencies. And, essentially she wouldn't, let a fight like that drive her to suicide. Um, so
right.
it they're not saying whether it was the doorknob or the door. It just says from the door.
She was hanging
So
from,
as
yeah,
far as, you know,
it sounds like she may have, like, some people's doors have those, like, the hooks over the top of the door where you can hang, like,
yeah,
a bathrobe or something like that. So, it that
yeah,
that would be my guess, is somebody was hanging somehow or another, she was hanging off of that somehow. So,
yeah, yeah. So so how did she get up there, or was she, because some people have hung themselves from a doorknob. They have done that. So it can happen. But so yeah, it's so here again, and there's not still not a whole lot of information. As we get more details, we'll update people. But now there is a GoFundMe for that the family put out, only because of costs with, when they can, getting her home, and the funeral cost, and so forth and so on, and potential travel arrangements, that kind of thing. So
yeah.
it doesn't sound to me like they're trying to, profit, of course, from her death or anything. But I to me, this is very
Well,
suspicious. And
I'm gonna tell you
um
right now, my personal opinion is that this guy took the security guard with him to have a witness when he finds her, so that they don't look at him. This guy can
yeah,
say, "Well, I was with the security guard and we found her together and it wasn't me." So there you go, folks.
yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, like there's my alibi, so to speak, my witness. But
Yeah.
now they haven't officially charged him as of yet, but they did take his travel documents. So he
Yeah.
is stuck for the moment.
Yep.
So
Yes. Give it time, folks. Give it time. This is
yeah,
interesting. It's
yeah,
gonna
give it
be,
time. Exactly. Give it
yeah.
time. So
And
these cases are interesting to as we get some follow up with them, to see, exactly how they do shake out. And where
yep.
this kind of ties in, for me, like with Idaho 4, is the delay.
Oh
What
yeah.
what
Yeah.
is it?
11
I mean,
hours.
we have, yes, 11 hours.
What did you
So
do for 11
so
hours is what I wanna know. What did you do in this situation for those 11 hours? I want that
right,
explained.
right. And okay, so we have Dylan and Bethany. They don't call 911 for 8 hours. That's not in dispute. So that did actually happen, as we all know. Then you have this hooker guy. His wife just falls over the side of the dinghy. She has the key to the freaking motor. So and he swims ashore, waits for a while before he alerts. Was he purposely, allegedly waiting for to make sure that she didn't survive before he
For her to
alerted somebody?
drown.
I mean,
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
Yes,
because she
ma'am.
was a strong swimmer. So uh, if hopefully when they you know uh as more comes out about that. I don't know. It's just so that's where that ties in for me with Idaho 4.
Agreed.
Just
And
a lot of
any go ahead. Sorry.
no, go ahead.
I just anytime there's any kind of a delay in a crime in this fashion, at least in my opinion, you have to ask a question. You cannot just let it pass by without saying why. Okay?
Right,
These crimes with these massive delays before contacting law enforcement or anybody, okay? This is if this is a suicide, which I doubt that it is now, um,
yeah,
you know, you would have picked up the phone and dialed 911 immediately when you walk in on this. The security guards
right,
there, I'm sure they did that. But then why did you not contact this girl's family for 12 hours almost? What were you doing
right,
in that? Were you trying to figure out how to break this to them? Were you trying to make sure that your connection to this was not there for them to find? I mean, all of these kinds of things. Like, there's no, we all know my feelings that know me about the delay in the Idaho court case. Okay. I believe that
right.
that was all timed out purposely and that they were
Yep,
told to wait this period of time, that cleanup had to happen. And then they were told, call 911. It's okay now, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. So there's
yeah.
that. But a delay on any crime like this is always a number one problem in my opinion. Period.
Oh,
So
yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, so here's the thing. To Lucy's question, we're not sure how long she was hanging there.
that's
Like
that's
the
important.
story is, and now this happened on April the 9th, so we're still awaiting details as far as, how long was she there? What was the actual cause of death? Was it asphyxiation? Was it, some kind of injury to her neck? How was she hanging there? So, I mean, we don't even know exactly, how what was holding her up, what was not, so this is another crazy one. That
Yes.
well, I think you were the one that said it, Dago, or was it Joe? I forget now, about, there are no
Black
like
and white.
straight
Nothing.
straightforward cases they're all crazy.
Everything
So,
has some
but
kind of dumb shit connected to it or some wild story that makes there's no black and white clean cut crime anymore. Like, okay, here's what happened. Here's who did it. Move on to the next case. None that doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't.
no,
Um, I know that sounds dumb to say, you guys. Like any crime should not be looked at as a black and white crime, but you know what I'm saying. Like whatever happened
yeah,
to okay, this person was found dead. This person, whoever, the boyfriend shot her to death and prosecuted. Move on. No,
yeah,
it doesn't.
no,
No, there's always got to be some dumb shit. Like I said, there was the 12-hour delay. This person was wearing Ronald McDonald tennis shoes when they did it and left footprints. This person was doing this. That person was standing on their head when they found the. I mean, this is what I mean. There's always something stupid connected to
yeah,
these cases. Like, what the hell are you doing?
yeah. I mean, does it, and maybe, of course, we with social media, everything's so immediate and we hear about this stuff like instantly, but it almost
Right.
seems to me like, are people becoming more devious?
I mean,
Like,
yeah.
like,
Well,
like,
let me
does it,
throw something
I
at
don't
you real
know.
quick. So when I was a young, when I was a child, okay, there was Hill Street Blues. That was
Right.
the only law enforcement show that I remember being out was Hill Street Blues. Okay,
Yeah,
now
we're going way back.
Barney Miller. Okay, which of course I
Barney
knew who
Miller,
was.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Columbo.
and Columbo, there you go. Stuff like that was all that was out. Now my kids growing up, we were talking about this not too long ago. There's 62 different versions of Law and Order. There's multiple, oh yeah, Night Court too. I can't forget that.
Yep.
Sofa, good
Yeah,
call.
Night
L.A.
Court, yeah.
Law.
That was
God damn it,
comedy, yeah.
you guys are making me a liar now. But there were not as many. We didn't have the ID channel. We did. They
No.
basically tell you how to commit a crime and get away with it in some senses nowadays. So I think
Yeah.
that a lot of this stuff is starting to happen because of the things that have been seen on TV in some second. Adam 12, yes, I'm sorry. Um, okay, we could go for an hour now. I was wrong, folks.
rattle
I'm
off
just saying I was
shows now.
wrong. Okay. Um, but there were nowhere near as many in-depth shows.
No,
They
that
show things like forensic
described
files.
how things were done.
Yeah. Okay. Law and Order is like to the on point. Dexter, for
Yes,
Christ's sake. One of my favorite
yes,
shows is Dexter. They show you how you
yep,
can get away with murdering somebody and getting rid of the body. I mean, and I'm not saying
yeah,
it's a problem because I watch all this shit, you guys. I'm a true crime person. This is what I do. But
right,
I think it plays into that in some sense. I think it teaches
yeah,
people, hey, they can get away with you can get away with it if you do this, this, and this. And some people
right,
probably have. Now one other thing you have to add to the table with this too is this right here. Okay. We didn't have this back in the day. We didn't have the
that's right,
ability to look into this stuff. We didn't have the ability to eh, with at your fingertips to look something up to figure out what was
right,
going on in this crime. So basically,
yeah,
yeah, the internet provided so much more um insight into these crimes and so much more, I'm going to say craziness to be able to play into some of this. So there's that as
right,
well. They
yeah,
definitely, yeah, they
so,
definitely did not teach you, like Heart of Gold just said. There was definitely not how to commit a murder, and they show that stuff. If you watch
yeah,
the ID channel, guys, they teach you how to get away with murder in some senses. I said it to my wife, like Jesus Christ, like these shows, they they teach you how to get away with this shit. Um,
yeah,
so
absolutely,
I feel like for the crazies out there that think they want to do this stuff, they go that direction. They look into this. You can type shit into the internet. Of course, you're going to get caught, but you can type things into the internet and look
yeah,
up how to do certain things. And
yeah, so,
Alicia said it that I could definitely hide a body better than I could years ago. Thank you.
yeah,
There's ways they tell you how to get rid of bodies. If you know anybody that owns a pig farm, make friends with them. If you want to get rid of somebody, is basically I've heard people say this,
right,
and I'm like,
just
oh
feed
boy,
it to feed it to the pigs. Oh, Dago,
exactly.
don't look now, but Devil's Advocates is here. Lee's here.
Uh
Oh no.
oh, we're in trouble now.
I know, I know. Oh man. Oh, now where'd he go? He was there. Well,
You ran,
he'll
you
be here,
scared him
folks.
away.
He's yeah, yeah. Oh, there's Rhonda backstage. Yay! Hi,
I
honey.
see Rhonda. Hey, Rhonda, good to see you, hun.
Yep. And so, but yeah, it just seems to me, and you have to be that devious to be like, oh yeah, and it seems like there's more and more international
Oh
cases,
yeah,
US people going away. Do they purposely wait? I mean, I hate to be suspicious that way, but I don't know. It just seems,
it's the truth. It is the truth.
like you said the other night with the voting one, it's tricky.
Listen, that boating, the hookers. Okay,
Yeah.
there's no way that man did not. Did she? There's no way that man did not push his wife into the water. That's just how I see it. Period. So
Yeah.
that I don't believe, and especially with the bruises she had on her body, there was definitely domestic violence issues in that relationship. They're drinking. I'm sure that there was a heated conversation, and he said, "You know what? Pissed on you. I'm done," and shoved her into the water and drove away. You know what I mean? That's or
Yeah.
swam away or whatever.
So,
He had to make it look
yeah.
good. So
Yeah. But I
yeah,
mean,
well, yeah,
and
or she's in
if,
on it.
if
That's
they
another good point.
if they do find her, which I hope they do, because that's of course going to be able to tell us a lot,
Yeah,
about this. It'll be interesting to see if she still has the key on her, or
that would
whatever,
be yeah, that's a good
because
point.
the stepdaughter said that he is the one who always drove, and so you don't typically remove the key from the boat.
No, my uncle always left his key in the boat in the
Yeah,
ignition. That way he wouldn't lose it. So yeah, I agree with that.
right. Yeah, I found that really really weird. So,
Agreed.
Dale will have to give us a thumbs up whenever he's ready here. I don't
Come
want
on,
to.
old
There he
man,
is.
get your ass in here, old
Come
man.
on. So, but yeah. So, but
Yes,
yeah, I don't know what it is. People just, thinking that if they wait long enough, that will somehow allay suspicion.
People think they can get away with crime nowadays because,
Right.
well, another part that I'm going to throw out this now too is because we have so much, and I know this is going to piss some people off probably, but because there is so much corruption within
Yes.
the legal system, as Kim's been calling it. She doesn't call it the justice system anymore because where the fuck is the justice? So the legal
Right.
system. Um, I think people see this as a way to say, okay, well, we can get around this, or this because who knows if they're going to be corrupt or not corrupt? We don't know. You know, you can't trust
Right.
in that
Or
anymore, unfortunately.
or are they just that inept? Like if they
Right.
are a force that's not used to dealing with certain types of crime, are they just not, there he is in a good enough place or knowledgeable enough in order to investigate properly. So
Yeah.
there's that aspect of it too. So hello, sir. How are you?
I'm clusterfucked. I got all kinds of shit going on.
You look like it.
I had a power
Yeah,
strip go out, so my camera died after I joined the stream. So yeah, I'm just getting my shit back together. I think.
Oh
it's good,
boy.
good to see you tonight, sir.
Yeah, thanks for
Yeah.
holding the fort down and getting the show started. I was trying to do my best to make it, but my life is full of a lot of surprises right now. So
Well, we're
Gotta love it.
glad you're here, but take a moment and breathe. It's okay.
I'm good.
This is a good way to be able to escape the surprises, good or bad, from your life
Yeah.
sometimes. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Did you guys already cover that story that I was looking
Yeah.
into this morning? Okay, good.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
looked interesting to me, and I wanted to do some more research on it before the show. But again, I don't know if did you talk at all about what happened in my world or not today?
I did not. That I felt that was the best to you. Left to you. I
That's
mean,
your business, sir.
Yeah, we've
Yep.
had a family emergency. My wife and I were awakened at 2 a.m. With my elderly aunt who we care for. She has dementia. She had a fall, and she's not going to survive the fall. So we've been at the hospital all night long like that, and so we've been
Oh my
running
gosh,
around
I'm
taking
so
care
sorry.
of a lot of it is what it is, and so anyways, because of that, we're running on low sleep. We had a bunch of stuff to run around, a lot of things to take care of, and I wasn't sure if I was going to make it or not. But like a lot of people, like they wrap themselves in business or whatever to keep their mind occupied. So
Yeah.
that's part of what
Yeah.
I'm doing too. Is like I don't want to miss the show. I'd rather hang out and kind of forget about some things for a while. It's inevitable what's happening.
Like I said,
it's inevitable.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Well,
This is an escape
you're
from
among
reality
friends,
sometimes.
and we'll try to keep your mind off of things a little bit. So
And
Yeah.
please know that, of course, all the communities are sending prayers and thoughts to you and Rhonda and all your family.
Yep.
Truly, not going to get all mushy on you. I'm just that's
Right,
a fact,
yeah,
and
yeah.
you know that. So
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah.
Yep,
We're doing okay. It's one of those things that we knew this was coming, but didn't think it was going to happen that way. So it was kind
Yeah.
of like a
Right.
surprise. But
yeah.
anyways,
Horrible.
for what it is. See, I'm
Yeah.
an open book. I tell people way too much information, right? Maybe I should have kept that shit on the
I do the
down low.
same thing.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
well,
So
but everybody cares about you, Lee. So hey, it's
well,
you know.
not everybody. Have you seen my inbox? Not everybody cares about me. Should I get threatened
well,
or I get sued? I don't know.
They can blow it out their ass.
So anyways, don't let me interrupt. I'm just kind of like I'm here so I don't get fined, as I think Marshawn Lynch said at some point. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
No, we were just talking about how there's this 11-hour delay in this case that you looked up here that
Yeah.
between the time of like they found her and she passed away then and the time the fiance told her family. So here we
Yeah.
have this huge delay. The
Mhm.
other night with the hooker case, he waited 8 hours before alerting anyone that anything was wrong. So here we have these big delays, and then Idaho 4, of course, we know
Yeah.
Dylan and
Yeah.
Bethany didn't call anybody for 8 hours, so
And didn't
they
they
were just
a
you know,
suicide at first or something like that, or they try to chalk it up as a
yes,
suicide?
yes,
Yeah,
they called it a suicide at first, and they have not charged him. However,
right.
they did take his travel documents, so he
Yeah,
cannot go anywhere.
Like I said,
So
the
that's
first thing
good.
that caught my attention was, why did you take a security guard up to check on her, bro? Because you knew that you would need to have a witness there that could say that you didn't do this. And
right.
that's exactly why he did that, in my opinion. So
Right. It's right. And like Robin was saying, it kind of dovetails, in my opinion, Idaho, for why I thought the door was left open on the house on purpose, because they wanted to have other people discover this crime scene.
yes,
And the phone call eventually became, I have to have somebody. And again, even when the phone call came, it was like, let's have a friend come over and discover
Yep.
the scene instead of us. That's what
Yeah.
that always felt like to me.
It
in
makes
that
sense.
case.
Yeah. So and I, then I was talking about how it seems like people are getting more and more devious, and Dago brought up a great point about, a lot of these TV shows anymore that almost tell you how to get away
Yeah.
away with murder,
I heard Dago
So
talking about Dexter, and I was like, that was one of my favorite
yeah,
shows when it was running back in the day. And but yeah, a lot of the shows, right? They do give you ideas. Like I shouldn't say you. I mean, they would give a certain type
Evil.
of person ideas, like, oh, hey, that's a
right,
really good idea. Like I hadn't thought of that, but And
right.
so
I
yeah,
mean, and and even shows like Criminal Minds,
mhm,
that's another one that can really get it, because that is about the BAU. That's what the
yeah,
Criminal Minds TV show is it's a fictional show, but I mean, the people, of course they have consultants and everything too. And especially now, because they're on Paramount Plus, the subscription site to CBS, and they are even more in depth. So,
Yeah.
as opposed to when they were just on network TV.
yeah.
So, yeah, so it's like a, playbook as far as how to get away with this stuff.
All of that is truly the ID channel. I've been watching when I'm not on YouTube, I'm in there watching either something on the ID channel or some kind of an investigative show, and occasionally you'll get me stuck on a like Landman or something. But typically, what I'm watching is true crime, and there's so much of it, like Forensic Files. The ID channel shows you, in
Right.
essence, this guy did this and almost got away with it, except for this. So basically, what they just told you was this is how he would have got away with the crime, but he did this. So don't make this mistake, folks. And if you're going to do it that way. It's like, what the fuck? You're teaching people how to commit crimes and get away with it. There's so much of it out there. Um, that is, in my opinion, partially why this became. And if I feel like I'm loud, guys. If I'm too loud, I'm sorry. Let me know. I just sounded loud to myself. Anyway, but that is one of the reasons why I believe that more people started committing crimes because they feel like they can get away with it. I should say it like that. So,
Yeah.
and plus, like I said, the internet doesn't help either. We have all these things with the internet now, and that plays a big part, in my opinion, too. So,
Yeah.
welcome.
Yeah. I
Randy.
Yeah,
agree.
great points. Yeah. So I'm kind of a little discombobulated. I just literally drove back and met somebody in my parking lot and stuff like that. But I'm willing to see where the audience wants to go. If there's some questions that we want to do, or if you want to bring up somebody on channel with us or whatever.
Yeah. Let me
I'm
throw the link out.
Yeah, I would love that. I'm just kind of taking care of a
Let's
few
do it.
things while I'm hanging out with you guys. So I appreciate that you guys so much for helping out and keep the consistency is important sometimes, doing a regular thing at the same time every day. And that's what we're trying to work on, is keeping that consistency going. So
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. So, yeah, and it's great to see everyone tonight, as always. So I threw the link out, folks. Come on up, give us your thoughts on this case, Idaho 4, Delphi, whatever. We're up for it. So let's see. Looks like Heart of Gold might have a question.
Okay.
I threw the
She's
link in my chat
pointing
as well.
upward.
Upward.
Yeah, she has arrows pointing, like scroll up, but I don't see one.
Who said that?
Heart of Gold.
Why do you? Oh, I see it. Why do you think
Okay.
9 EMTs showed up to the 1122 King Road for one unconscious person. You guys want to answer that first?
Which one? What's the question? Read it again.
Why do you think 9 EMTs showed up to the 1122 King Road address on 1113 for one unconscious person?
Yeah, because I don't think the original 911 call came in on an unconscious person, and I think they
No.
knew it was a bigger deal. And I think
Yeah.
another big question is why 9 EMTs didn't go into the house and were just told to stay outside instead of
Right.
even checking a pulse. I mean, the whole thing was weird.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna add to that just a little if I can, based on my
Yeah.
own personal experience. If you guys notice, first off, there were two medics there as well, based on the clothing they were wearing. There were at least 2 medics. The rest were probably EMTs and or firefighters. We're both, okay? But if you notice, as they walk up the hill, every one of them was wearing a respirator around their neck. And I'm going to tell
Yeah.
you,
Yeah, right.
right out of the gate, nobody, unless you're told ahead of time, responds to a scene wearing a respirator, knowing that there's going to be a problem with smell and odors and things like that. So, there was a conversation had with these gentlemen before they showed up at the house. Okay, somebody told
Had
them,
to have been.
these people have been dead for a while. You need to bring your
Mhm.
respirators because this smell is bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they
So there
knew
were-
that's an indicator that they knew, right? Yeah.
Yes, there was a conversation had with them they also, during their response, they shut them down, folks. You can hear it. They shut them down. Okay, from 911. PD said, okay, you can back them off. You can listen to the radio traffic. And they did. They told them to still respond, but respond code 0 is what we call it, without lights and sirens. No emergency there, but you can still respond, and then stage down on King Road, blah, 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 because we don't know what we're going to need, all that. But none of them went inside the house. Not one of
Right.
them went inside the house to be able to call the death, okay? Which is why the time of
Yeah.
death by my butt was at noon, which we all know is a bunch of bullshit.
Yep.
And I still think that was done on purpose, okay? Because there's no way, if you give the time of death at noon, then it doesn't give us a timeline for the actual death, okay?
No.
So
Yeah,
I'm just
right.
going to say that. And I think there was more than one 911 call as well. That's another opinion I have now.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Mama
No,
5 said
I think
here.
it's it's
Yeah.
a great point. I think it speaks very much to what like I said, I mean, and I can't remember where I heard it, but I think we did get indications they did know that they were being called to a murder scene,
Yeah.
and not an unresponsive person. As they, again, so many things in that case, they just flat out lied to the public about so many things,
Yeah.
categorically down the line. End of story.
Yeah.
And it's sad.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Moto Man.
Yeah, Moto Man, great, supporting Jago's channel so much. Thank you so much for that too. Great.
Can we all
Yeah.
agree the 911 call was not the actual 911 call? Sure, we can agree. I can.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
I can agree with that.
I used to think not, but the more I see it, it seems it's doctored at least, if not almost reenacted. Like, so I don't know. Like, to me, like I try to suspend what sounds like crazy conspiracy theory. Like, are they really going to fake a 911 call that didn't happen or recreate it? It's hard for me to go to that level, but I do feel like what we heard is not the actual entirety of the 911 call. At
I
a minimum.
agree. Yeah. And Saber Sleuth Tiger says that one creator named Michelle something made a video where she said she could hear the cops coming to the
Yeah.
1122 scene at 6:30 a.m. You can tell because of their reverse air filters in their car.
Oh,
How do
interesting.
you hear an air filter? Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have any clue about that.
Wait, what?
that's some super sleuthing.
I see you, Saber Sleuth. And Diego really, what, tomboy? And she said, what about filters?
There's a reverse
You can hear
air
the reverse
filter in the
filter,
car.
air
In the
filters
car?
cars.
The cabin filter?
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe
I mean,
that's what they mean.
and how would you hear the reverse? I don't even know.
Well, I
don't
don't
know enough
know.
technicals
That's
about cars on that myself.
I know a
yeah,
lot
and
about cars, so that's why I'm asking
but I
this
don't know how
question.
you would hear that. Like, what is the difference in the sound of an engine that has a reverse air filter versus a regular air filter? I don't know that much about air filters, so I'm sorry.
I
Yeah.
mean, I know quite a bit, and I've never heard of that before, so I don't know. Okay, I don't want you guys to get confused in here. Look, we're doing a
Yeah,
dual stream here. For those of you that aren't familiar with this, like I'm streaming live with Devil's Advocates, so you probably
right.
can't see their chat, but we can
Yeah,
see both of your chats, guys. That's all.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we can
And
see the combined chat.
Yeah,
and I apologize. I know it's one of those, we're not doing anything deceptive.
no, no,
Some people are like, "Oh my
No,
God, can they see our chat over here?" Yes. When we're co-streaming, all the streamers can see each other's chat, but the weird anomaly is each individual channel isn't seeing the combined chat. So I know it's surprised some people before where they thought they were having a private conversation with your own community.
yeah.
Sometimes, unfortunately, some people are talking a little shit about the other channels on their thing, and they're like, "Oh shit, did they just read that?" Yes, we see it all. So be careful what you
yes.
say. How about just don't shit on others? If you don't shit on others, then you don't have to go on it.
That's how I see
What
it.
I
Yeah,
love about being able to see both chats is that say the someone in our chat has a question that
Yeah,
might
right,
interest Dago's chat,
right, right.
and we put
Yeah,
absolutely.
it up. That's why we put it up, because maybe it's something that would interest them, and then So I like the fact that we can kind of uh, do that.
yeah, yeah, for
Absolutely.
sure.
Yes. Yes, yes. Absolutely. I agree. Um, so I don't want anybody that's why if you're confused, that's the only reason why. When
Yeah,
you dual stream or co-stream with somebody, that's unfortunately StreamYard hasn't figured it out yet, but they will, I hope, soon.
Yeah.
yeah, that would be
Um,
really nice.
it's all good, Sofa. It's all good. Um,
Yep.
Oh, Sofa King.
yeah, he was just saying, no disrespect. It's just when I'm responding to something that you're not even talking about, I get confused. Right. I
Yes.
understand.
Yeah.
It's all good.
So
No worries.
Sofa King suds. I Sofa King makes me laugh. I think I first saw the Sofa King thing when I was in like 8th grade, and somebody put some sentence on the wall about Sofa King, and it was like and I laughed my ass off. And so now whenever I say Sofa King, I start laughing. I giggle like a little kid, like I'm back in fucking 8th grade again.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Dago,
Yeah.
remember there's a huge connection at the WitCon. Yeah, no, I know. I know, Tomboy. I got you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and that's also part of. I mean, I don't know if that's where they're going, but that's also along with that contract. The contract, the master services agreement between the city of Moscow, the 911
Right.
services, Moscow Police Department, University of Idaho, Pullman, their joint connections together. All of that stuff is under master service agreements and stuff like that between them. And yeah,
Right.
Yeah. Yep. So, sausage, it's okay. When you said Rob, that's like one of my nicknames. So I thought nothing of that. Like a lot of people in my life, they call me Rob. They're like, "Hey, Rob," So that's okay. It's okay. Don't ever worry about that. I just assumed it was. So no problem.
perfect.
Sure thing. So any excuse me, do you have any new thoughts or anything on Idaho Lee or anything that you yourself personally have?
I'm trying to think if I have any new thoughts. I mean, I saw, I can't remember what the date of it was, but Harsh Reality had a video that he put out about the cease and desist letters that the Gonzalveses are putting out against people, plural. And I saw, Jules mentioned that it was really against their own daughter, one of Steve's daughters, so then it began to, I never have heard who the other YouTuber, if there's YouTubers or whoever, if it's just her. And then Harsh's comment, and I couldn't quite understand what he said. Maybe you understood it better, but it sounded like somebody that he couldn't identify and didn't know but he had good reason to believe that they were telling the truth, had indicated that trophies were taken from Kaylee Gonzalez, that something was cut off of her body. And so like, while I don't like to run with unfounded rumors, I kind of trust Harsh a little bit, that he vets things a little bit too. So I don't know that he would run with it if he didn't know at least it had some teeth to it. So that's the biggest thing on my mind is, do we think tank a little bit about the possibility that somebody actually took time to take trophies, or by trophies, let me be clear with you. Let me talk that through a little bit. There's a difference between the idea that a serial killer, right, will take trophies from his victims. Right. That's typically your MO, that people think serial killers like to collect things of their victims to kind of revisit their crimes and remember it. And they'll take, trophies. Right. And so trophies makes you think that, but there's another scenario. If somebody put a hit out on somebody and said, I want proof that you carried this out, bring me their ear, bring me their eye, so somebody could take a trophy, not for bragging rights or to relive the crime, but to proof of what I did. I did this, and I'll bring you their tongue, or I'll bring you, and so it makes you wonder if that could have happened. Did somebody put a hit out on somebody and literally the killer was bringing proof of, I did it, and here's the proof,
That makes perfect sense to me.
Oh, hey, one's here.
Yeah, man. Bring him on up.
If you think about
there
that,
he is. Hello,
say
sir.
for instance, hey, one.
Hello.
Long time no see.
What's up? What happening?
You guys and your toys. I need a soundboard.
Good evening.
So for just as example, folks, and this is with all due respect, trigger warning, and no disrespect intended, but say for instance, and this is stuff that was talked about, like earlier when we had talked about it, the Kim that was on my panel earlier, she brought that information to me 3 years ago and said stuff about that. Okay, and there was no proof then, but it was being talked about 3 years ago. So.
Right.
Say for instance, and this is just a for instance, so please don't take this as a factual statement and try to run anywhere with it, anybody, please. If say for instance, Kaylee's tongue was cut out, okay. Lee and I actually talked about this earlier this morning, or early this afternoon, I think, when we had a little conversation today. Great conversation, by the way. It always is. Unfortunately, it was bad news we were talking about with him, but anyway, I'm sorry, I'm getting all sidetracked here, but that would be interesting to me, and it would look to me as a message being sent. When you take somebody's life and you cut off a hand or cut out their tongue, I think those are specific messages. Like, you take somebody's hand off, I've heard of this, because they stole from you. Okay?
Yeah.
I've heard of cases where people's eyes have been removed because they saw something they shouldn't have seen, and then they talked about it or whatever. But also, cutting out somebody's tongue would mean you ran your mouth and you shouldn't have. Okay.
Right. And that's the other part of what I was going to say is what was taken can tell you motive.
Yes.
If you cut their tongue out, somebody said something they shouldn't have said. You know what I'm saying? If you cut their heart out, maybe somebody broke somebody's heart. What they take from a person can tell you a little bit about what was the triggering event.
They were both of them. Yeah. We kept hearing the rumors were a long time about Kaylee, and then the rumors about Ethan, that there were things on Ethan as well. Yeah. Well, we can't say anything until we get the real autopsy. We need the autopsy.
Yeah.
Will we ever see the real autopsy?
Not just how many times they were stabbed. We need the actual full autopsy. But probably never happened.
I think that's why we're not getting it. One. I think that they're purposely not sending it because that would change the narrative. Yep. Okay.
Right. And Dago, I want to mention this. When Harsh Reality was talking about the person who didn't come forward with the knowledge that things were cut off of or taken as trophies from Kaylee, their comment was, well, I didn't think it was relevant. It won't make any difference. How does it not be relevant? You're talking about a small window that one person kills 4 people on 2 floors with one weapon and subdues them all, and now has time for a cleanup, and now has time to take trophies and cut shit off of people. Yes, it's totally relevant. It's all a matter of timing. You can't do
100%.
all that shit in that time. So
every detail about a crime scene is relevant.
Of course.
Every detail.
I don't care what it is.
Everything is important, and stuff like that could actually really lean towards a motive, which you don't.
Oh my gosh!
Of course it can.
Senior Wiskowski, I'm not gonna. It's funny you said that. That's what I was wondering. That's what I was wondering.
Lucy said it too, Lee. Because we talked about this before. The 4chan nickname that was given to Kaylee, for those of you that aren't familiar.
Yeah.
For those of you that know, you know, okay? And it's what I was wondering myself, okay?
Yeah. I thought that too when they said certain things were cut off, and Harsh said that he didn't want to say what it was because it would get his channel shut down. Yeah. That's exactly what I thought. But I was like, well, and again, if that's the case, it tells you something. It would suggest obviously maybe a sexual motivation for murder. So you again, you have to, those things all have to be factored in.
Yeah, because and why would Bill Thompson then be so adamant about there was no sexual? Yeah, exactly. So of course the autopsy report would totally blow all that out of the water, and that's why we will never see it.
Yeah,
Robin, what bothered me, Robin, was that Bill Thompson was so he did.
Yes,
I want to make it absolutely clear. You know, why would you like, there's a million things that people are speculating. And why would you want to make it absolutely clear there's no sexual motivation? The fact that he drew so much attention to making sure we were clear almost makes you think, oh, so you're trying to make sure we don't look that direction because maybe we should look that direction. That you had to obsess about, I want to make sure this clear. This was not a sexual. Well, now I'm starting to think it might have been.
Yeah. Just like, you know, with the looking like there were, you know, possibly they had been gagged. I mean, Steve even said that.
Yeah.
Well, I was just going to say, it makes you wonder with all the lies and deceit and bullshit that we've been told. What if we don't even know the actuality of the actual crime scene and any of this? What if this was a fully motivated sexual act? What if it was completely opposition to things they've told us? And why, if you think that that's crazy, think again, folks, because at every turn they've given us something to doubt and look another direction for. So, smoke and mirrors, guys. That's all I'm going to say. Smoke and mirrors. Okay, they tell us one thing when it's probably something completely different. That doesn't mean, and I'm not saying that this was a sexual assault or anything like that. But it's not that difficult to make that process in your mind if you think about what they've told us and everything we've learned, okay? It absolutely could have been something like that. So, or something completely out of the realm of wild, different from what they told us that they didn't want out in the public. And that's why it wasn't told, okay? So think about that for a little while as we go through this, because that's truly a thought that I've had recently, so.
Yeah.
Hemisphere, if you want to type your question again or your comment about
the panel didn't seem to comment
leaving a knife in somebody's skull, I haven't heard about that.
Me either. That's new.
Yeah, I haven't heard about that. That a knife may have been left in somebody's skull.
I think that would have been put out because that would have left a murder weapon behind.
Right.
So,
but see, and I agree with you on what you just said fundamentally, but I also believe that once they've decided what happened, they rule out anything that doesn't fit that narrative as not relevant. Now, I don't know how anybody in their right mind would rule out not relevant a knife stuck in someone's skull. But again, let me point this out. Like if they didn't tell Ann Taylor about things that would be exculpatory, like that, for example, and just mention, oh, but that's not relevant. We don't need to tell them that. And she has to find out about that later, never find out about it. That's exculpatory information that would have critically changed the outcome of the case. So how many things did they not tell Ann Taylor because they didn't want her to question the story? You know,
and that's a good point, Lee, because it makes me wonder. The defense had their own investigators, mind you, that were doing their own thing, that was going and finding things, whether they were given to them or not. That's part of this. That's part of how this works. The defense team has an investigation team that does what they do to find out for that specific reason, in my opinion, as well. The things that could have been withheld or suppressed or whatever, because it does happen. So there's a thing there. Think about that. And I wonder how much, because there's things that I think it was Batanti was who her main investigator was talking about, that put out in reports. I wonder how much other stuff Batanti found that we don't know about at this point, that she actually does know, and that the prosecution may not even know that she knows. I think the question I have,
and I think, I honestly think the prosecution buried Ann Taylor in discovery. What did she list? 63 terabytes of discovery that she had.
51, but yeah.
And I think that was done on purpose as well. And I wouldn't, I mean, I'm just saying, I wouldn't put it past them to purposely misfile something and hope that she doesn't find it so that they can say, hey, look, you've had this since X date, but they purposely put it in the wrong folder, figuring there's no way in hell she's going to go look for, because like this mislabels something as something innocuous that you wouldn't think is a high level thing to go look at, and then go, oh, you've had it the whole time. You had it on this date. Too bad for you. You didn't find it in the umpteenth million subfolder called non-important files.
I hit on that in my show last night, Elite, or was it last night? Yeah. That's a fact. She herself stated this, okay? And best way to describe this is what I did last night, and I'll tell you guys the same thing. She claimed when she was, I can't remember which hearing it was, she was presenting it to Judge Judd. Many things she presented to him, which should have started telling the story to what was going to happen back then. It kind of did, but maybe more than what we saw. That they purposely, she didn't say the words purposely, but you know what she means.
Yeah.
As they were handing discovery over to her, it was so severely disorganized. Basically, the way I see it is it was like a game of 52 card pickup. You threw 52 cards up in the fucking air, and wherever they hit the ground, she had to get to go through that. She pulled an expert in to go through discovery and the things she was looking at. The expert told her that in all reality, it was going to take her a full 3 years to go through all of this, folks. They purposely mislabeled things, in my opinion, or misnumbered things, or just none of it was organized. Okay, they just said here, figure it out.
Now, real quick, we have a guest backstage, so we're going to get the guest here in a second. But I want to add something else to what you said. Their counter argument, to play devil's advocates, their counter argument was, and I'm just saying what they said.
Yeah,
Ann Taylor asked to get all the discovery in time. We gave it to her in the same order that we got it to, got it. And it's not our job to organize it for her and tell her where things are at. So that was their argument. Like, hey, she asked for everything as it came in. We gave it to her as it came in. And it's not our job to tell her what we found. That's her job to find it. So that was
you are correct, sir. And that's a good point to make. What I'm going to say to that now, to be the devil's advocate, is
nice.
I believe
new channel, the devil's advocate.
The devil's advocate, yes. Where I'm the devil's advocate. There you go. That's what they say. That is not what I believe they did. Okay, I think that's a lie. There's no way to prove that. Okay, they can just say whatever they want. That's fine. We got it this way. We gave it to you the same way. I don't believe that. I think that's bullshit. Because,
right, and I do think they mislabeled stuff and put stuff in the wrong things to probably make it difficult for her to find.
And again, like Lucy said, we can't give them what we don't have. Bill Thompson's famous words: bullshit.
Right.
Double bullshit. Okay.
All right, let's read this sentence and then we're going to get our guest up on here. What's this? I think Hunter Johnson was part of the cleanup crew.
I agree with you that there is something very off about Hunter Johnson. He's always at the damn house.
Oh yeah.
I believe he was there way before whatever 12 o'clock. What he was involved in, we need more, we need a little more. We can't just say we believe a rumor. We need more receipts. So.
Sure.
Right.
And yes, Lucy, a forensic examination of the case record would definitely prove it. I wish we could force that.
All right, let's bring our guest on. I'm not even sure how 100% to pronounce this user's name. Do you want to tell us how you doing today?
Aldi,
Hello.
1K,
Aldi?
I think. Is that correct?
What's up? How are you? Yep, that's
Welcome.
correct.
Good.
Welcome.
I'm good. How are you?
Thank you for joining us.
Good. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Excellent.
How are you?
Okay.
I'm chilling. I'm having a good time.
Nice.
Wednesday, I'm drinking. I'm sipping. I like your guys' conversation.
Nice.
It's good to go,
Yeah.
bro.
Hey, there's never a wrong day to just relax and chill. Oh shit! You can't
Dig it
put that on
down, dig
screen.
it down, dig it down. Yeah, I do that. I had a feeling. I had a feeling.
All right, that's done. Sorry about that, folks. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
So, in retrospect,
Oh
there is
my
a thing
God.
you roll. It's like roulette when you put somebody on stage that you don't know. So there you go.
Did I miss
So,
any? Did I miss something? I have sunglasses.
No,
on. I
no, you
can't
didn't. You didn't miss anything.
What did I miss? Oh my
and on that note, what time is it?
I had a bad feeling, but I wasn't going to say anything. But hey, that's why I always say, but it doesn't matter because they obviously, I said, make sure you show me your face backstage for at least 3 seconds so I can make sure you're going to show your face.
And he did.
That was like the equivalent of the
Yes.
streaker that streaks across the full
Yeah.
field during the football team.
Oh God Almighty!
I got accused of being Mort earlier.
Oh my
Did
God,
you?
dude!
What the hell
I
is
had
that
to
about?
ban. I had to ban
Wow.
that asshole, whoever that was. They were
Yeah.
trying to say that one created the Dylan Mort accounts on TikTok or some shit, and I'm like, nope, wrong person. You know, yeah. And I said, Dylan Mort. We know who Dylan Mort is. We know his real
Yeah.
name, and it's definitely not one for Christ's sake. I'm telling you.
Well, and unless one can be two people at the same time on camera.
Yeah,
I mean-
because he was on panel with us when one was sitting here. So let's figure that one out there, guys.
I've been accused of being that guy as well. Somebody accused me of being that guy as well. So yeah.
Good God Almighty. Good God Almighty.
Well, that was entertaining. I mean, are you not entertained?
Well, here's the thing: is the idiot showed his actual face before he did it, so that doesn't help. You know what?
Right. I mean, if we were vindictive, we'd be like, "Hey, YouTube." But, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's all part of the. Sometimes
Lonely
drink
people.
responsibly. We say drink responsibly and don't do things like
You
that.
should not ever put pictures of your girlfriend on the internet like that, buddy. That's all I'm saying. Shame on you.
Wasn't that anime? I'm not even sure that was a real human. I
don't know.
It looked like it was anime. Yeah.
Yeah.
Children will be children.
Yep.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah,
what it
they're trying to get the channel struck. Is all they're trying to do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you'll just have to go
probably.
clip it. You'll just have to clip it out, Lee. That's all.
Yeah, it'll be
Yep.
clipped.
Yeah.
Did
I
you get
have
the
to go find it.
timestamp? Yeah, you'll get
No,
it.
I didn't get the timestamp, but I'm looking now, so I'll
So,
try to. I'll
I'm
know
looking
that this
now,
is too late.
so we'll
Probably
know right about where it is.
It's about an hour.
Yeah.
About an hour in.
I mean,
Right.
what was it on stage for? Like 5 seconds? I mean, we hit it pretty quick.
Yeah, 5
Yeah.
seconds.
That's probably about what his time frame is too. So.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh!
Lucy said she got it if you need it.
I
knew she
have to
would.
say, I didn't know how that was going to go, and it went south pretty quickly.
Yep.
The way he was sat there for a few minutes and didn't respond kind of was like, okay, here we go, and then bam. That was probably
Yeah.
the same idiot that was accusing you of shit earlier. One, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll do whatever they want to do whenever they get you. So just
Yep.
like I said, make sure you trim it out. They may give you a warning on that, but
I feel like they won't. I mean, here's why I say I know that when I was reading YouTube terms of service, they're pretty good about knowing whether or not you did it or whether somebody did it on their own. They're not going to hold you responsible because some jackass did something. So I don't think that they're going to punish me for it. And as long as we take our efforts to clean it up or whatever, I think we're going to be fine. But
right.
yeah.
Real quick,
Saber
Saber,
Sleuth.
which side
Yeah,
are you
just
talking on?
hit join. There should be a join button.
At the bottom, yeah, either that or one of my mods can drop the link if you can to be able to join the community. I know it's hard sometimes.
Yeah, I do know that joining to become a member of a channel, it used to be that you couldn't do it from a mobile phone. You had to be on a web browser of some kind, like on a PC or a Apple. Like you couldn't be on your phone, iOS or something like that.
We have two links. We have one for PC, and then we have another one for the iPhone and phone link too. So
yeah,
SRB usually has those. I don't know where it's at, and on the main page, if you want to go to the main page of the channel, you can join there too. Excuse me.
Oh, on that note, how do you recover from that? You know, you got to go back to playing football after the streaker streaks across the field, and you just return to
that's right. So, where were we?
I don't know. I lost control.
Well, back to Hunter Johnson.
Jenae's like,
Hunter Johnson. That's what we were talking about. Yeah,
all right,
kind of mentioning him.
Good to see you, Jenae.
Jenae.
Always good to see Jenae.
So all the stuff with Hunter, all the things surrounding Hunter Johnson, he's like always at the goddamn house. He's there all the time. So does that mean he committed the murders? No, that doesn't mean he committed the murders, but he's suspect with he definitely has some involvement in something. I'll put it at this. He definitely I would bet money that he knows more than he is saying in the interview. I'm sure I know most of them, but him definitely. He definitely knows more.
And is everybody aware that he was at the sentencing too? That he was in the sentencing room with me?
Was he?
Yeah.
I think you said that. Yeah.
You said
that,
Oh, he's probably there with Emily. I forgot about that.
Yep.
Thank you, Saber, for that. Thank Diego. I really like your shows. I appreciate that very much. Number 2 towards our goal tonight, and God bless. I appreciate you very much. Very generous. Any relation to that Kai Johnson? I don't think so at all. They were in the same or no, that's Kai Davis. I'm sorry. That's wild that he had to have been there to be there with Emily, in my opinion, Lee.
Yeah, he had his arm around her, consoling her there when and I recognized him right away when I saw him. But yeah, so I mean,
how did he look? How did he look like live in person, dude? Like we've seen him. A lot of people commented that he looks like shit now compared to what he used to look like. How did he look like that day in person?
I mean, he looked normal. He looked like I've seen him in other things. I mean, he didn't look, that's why I recognized him. Like normally I don't recognize people if they change or clean up and put a suit on, and I'm not used to seeing him in the suit. Like people can fool me with that kind of thing. But as soon as I saw him, I was like, oh, look, who's here? You know, like I immediately recognized him. So I don't remember him being disheveled or looking like shit or like, he just looked kind of normal, you know.
Cleaned up for that. Welcome to the chat or the channel, Saber Sleuth. Congratulations. Welcome to the sauce. Another meatball joining us. Appreciate it very much, and God bless. Welcome. Oh, wait a minute.
They're dropping bombs on you.
Sausage. You dropped the bomb on me.
Oh, you dropped the bomb on me.
It says that guy should have disrespected his mom like that by putting her up on it. Shouldn't have disrespect. Oh my God, Sausage, I love you. Thank you. That deserves a thank you for the number 3 towards our goal, and that was a great comment. Thank you.
I'd be like, hey dude, do you have any nude pictures of your mom? Do you want to buy some?
Right. Yeah, I don't think his mother. Looking at him, his mother probably wasn't that attractive in the face. So, just saying.
It is what it is. It's all good. In fact, we probably shouldn't be giving him so much run for his money.
You're right. You're right. Robin said, or Rhonda. Rhonda said the same thing. We're giving him too much attention. So I agree with her.
Yeah.
It just makes me mad, especially when you do that to people that are being nice enough to whatever. You know what I mean? Moving on.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It is what it is. All right. Any other questions? And boy, now we're going to have to be more careful before we invite people up on stage who haven't been with us before.
That's what I do. Show me your face, not your waist.
Well, we did see his face. That's just it. Though we saw his face. He was on. His face was on on camera for quite a while. Yeah,
that is proof. It doesn't always work.
One's dropping money.
1-1.
Well, damn.
1-1 gifted memberships. Thank you so much. And Again, we don't. I don't know if we always make this clear, but you have to turn on receiving gift membership if you haven't done so. So if you missed the opportunity for some reason, make sure if you are watching the show and you see in the bottom corner the $, you need to go to the $, and make sure that you say go to gift membership and say allow gift membership, something to that effect. You have to opt in. And I say this from time to time. It's not a commitment on your part. You don't start getting billed all of a sudden for something because somebody gave you a freebie. It truly is a freebie. At the end of that period, you'll be prompted with the option if you want to continue or not. And if so, you'll have to opt in. It's not just something that automatically starts getting billed. So it's no trick. Like there's no trick. It is a freebie, total freebie, and a gift from 1-1 to our members. So thank you so much.
Yes, so thank you.
All right. What else do we got? Any other questions or comments? Birthday money. He just gave away all his stripper money. Oh, just kidding. It reminds me. I made some kind of inappropriate joke like that. I was at some place and I had to pay a large bill with all ones, and I'm like, "Oh, I give away the stripper money." And they're like, "You haven't been to a titty bar for a while. Like ones are not how you do it anymore." Like, oh yeah, probably inflation. I forgot. You need fives now. So yeah, I don't know. I don't go to those places. I seriously don't. So I don't know. It's all good.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, it is what it is. I did go way back when I was a kid, though, or not a kid, when I was 21, of course. Yeah. How did Dylan see him walking out the sliding glass door and be so scared?
She did.
These are all questions we want to know.
Yeah.
And what did Dylan see?
Yeah. So when Dylan opens her door, she has a view of the window in the kitchen.
I think she walked him out the door. I'll be honest with you. I think she walked him out the door.
Well, yeah. Well, that's possible.
That's where I'm at nowadays with it.
Right.
Just saying. Yeah. Bunch of bullshit.
So my wife loves to bring this up. Like, so I did get invited to a coworker's bachelor party, and they did take him to a dancing club, if you will. And I did lose my glasses at that place. And so my wife loves to bring up that I lost my glasses somehow at the titty bar, but it was
1 minute. Sorry. I just like, wow.
It was not my bachelor party. It was not my bachelor party. I know exactly. I'm not going to say last name. It was Jason's the bachelor party. Thank you very much. It was not my bachelor party.
I want to know. No, I don't. Forget it. Just move on. I love you. I love you, Lee. Move on. That's all I'm going to say.
She crossed her legs and broke my glasses. That's all I can say.
I'm not saying another word. Not saying another word.
Right.
It's all good. I'm like a child. I really am. We probably shouldn't have gone there. What's next?
Well,
as Mama says, what next? Let's move on. Next.
To defend you, Lee, Dago's the one that brings weird props.
I know. I've seen his props. Holy crap. Yeah. All right. I am watching the chat. I'm watching the chat to see if somebody can save my ass and move us on to something else for the time. We'll get somebody that wants to come up on stage.
Harder.
If we don't. Dylan didn't like the dog. Maybe Bethany took her. Yeah, I've heard those.
Yeah,
I've heard all those stories.
Yeah, we heard. Yeah, we heard that she like kicked the dog or something. But I mean, I don't know if that's true.
Yeah. That teleporting
there's a
dog.
There's a lot of rumors in this case, and that's the hard part. So sorting out the rumors versus the lies versus the fuckery versus the half truths versus the 10 different people with the name Jack and 10 different people with the same name. Come on. Oh shit, you got the lightsaber out.
What do I think? Are you referring to the one where he's pretty much narrowed down that the car that we see from the timestamps that they're saying is, suspect one it's a Dodge Dart. That's what is basically coming out. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Doesn't surprise me at all.
Not at all. just as much as the Dodge Dart, the Elantra, like I pointed out in my show today, the Elantra in Oregon, we need to bring that back to the table.
Yeah.
It was definitely need to bring that back to the table, folks.
I told you, yeah. And there's fog. That car had fog lights.
Surprise. And they're not fucking clip-on either.
You know, we did look up. There are clip-on fog lights.
Oh, no,
I don't even want to get into it. Don't even want to get into it.
I'm just saying we have to be factually correct. There are such
we
things.
have to be accurate.
I'm not even gonna give that goofy shitball any thought. I'm just gonna move forward. But I know there are, because I had to go look myself.
Right.
I was pissed when I saw him. You know, I was like, no way.
You're like, oh my God, there are such things.
Yeah.
But
still, that is definitely not how that works out, folks. It just does not. So, it would be dumb. It would be very dumb. Anyway.
And this MF Jude said that Patterson's book talked about the fog lights. I didn't make it through Patterson's book. I read all of Bloom's book, but by the time I got to Patterson's book, I was starting to have exhaustion from the narrative shaping that I didn't get all the way through. So I don't know. So it says, love that James Patterson's book specifically cited the fog lights for why they could extend the car's years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they were originally looking for a 2011 to 13, right? And then they extended to 14 to 15 and 16, and
Yep.
Sofa King, I did cover in depth, very in depth, the Kylie Rodney case, beginning to end, and I'm very unhappy the way they ended it. So if you go back a couple years and check out most of my videos, you'll find all of my coverage on it. It's still there. It was literally one sentence. Don't do it to yourself. It's exhausting. Yeah. Well.
Oh, the book. Yeah. The book. Yeah.
Right.
To read the entire book for one sentence that might be of interest is exhausting. Yeah. No shit. For me, it was one chapter of Howard Bloom's book. The Howard Bloom's book, I've said this before, I feel like Howard Bloom's book was worth one chapter about the Corner Club. I think the Corner Club chapter was one that would make you go, huh, what the fuck happened there at the Corner Club?
You should bring that on, and we should read that chapter. Just that chapter one night.
Explain that Corner Club thing for some people that don't know this one, Lee, if you don't mind going into that.
Sure. Howard Bloom made a point that the girls could have gone to a bunch of different bars and closer bars to where they were. So why did Kaylee specifically go to the Corner Club that night where she knew her ex-boyfriend, Jack DeCour, would more than likely be at? And when she was there, according to Howard Bloom, Kaylee was making it very vocal and very loud to everyone that there was no chance that her and Jack DeCour were getting back together again, and making a big deal out of it. And so what it looked like is she literally went there to antagonize him, to go and basically make a statement that it's over between us, dude.
Yeah.
And so when you add that up, then you're like, well, shit, that seems like that's fucking potential that would piss somebody off. Like, well, how do you just blow over that that's not a big deal? So,
and if you watch Maddie in the video, she was very animated that night, probably standing there with her best friend, saying, yeah, and you don't need to be around her, blah, 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 stuff like that. And I can just see it. You know what I mean? You can see it, and that makes some sense. And it made me think, like, okay, well, yeah, that's probably, Lee's right. That's probably the best part of that book.
And MF Luder says, even though he also will point out that he was thinking about getting back. See, that's the thing. Howard Bloom's book was a book that essentially was, hey, Brian Koberger did it, and here's how he did it, and here's what he was thinking while he did it. That's the summary of Howard Bloom's book. However, what I'm saying is, only one chapter to me stood out as how the fuck do you just ignore all that and then still go back to hey, but that had nothing to do with anything that happened that night. Right. She was going to get back together with him. Really? Like,
he was all over the
I don't know what he was thinking when he wrote that chapter. I don't know what the hell he was thinking.
And Patterson's book, for those that haven't looked at it, it's a work of fiction, in my opinion. Truly and honestly, it is a work of fiction. And the person that he used for his sourcing for that book, I can't stand her anyway. So I just don't trust in anything. I was very ashamed. I was a huge Patterson fan because of the true crime thing, and that ruined it for me right there.
And Patterson really to me, the research, I didn't read the book, so maybe I'm speaking out my ass, but the research was done by Vicky Ward. I think Patterson was just literally lending his name to it, because either because Patterson, again, because he was going to write another, I think he did write another book on a high profile case, didn't he? Like Luigi's thing or so, I don't know. It seems like either Patterson's trying to use his co-partnership with established researchers to launch himself into a new area, or he's trying to help these people by borrowing his big name as a crime guy. Whatever the case may be, that collaboration was probably mostly Vicky Ward, and James Patterson was just lending his name to it.
That makes sense. It does. Being that she's not an author, he is, and he's not an investigator, she is. Put the two together,
and he knows story, he knows structure, he knows pacing. So she's an investigator, and he'd be like, "Look, this is how you build to a climax. This is how you bring into." Like, he would help her arrange the chapters in the correct order, right, to try to build tension and keep suspension. And so he probably offered that for his guidance in that book, and the research was done by her.
Yeah, no, I can agree, definitely. Thank you, Moto, again, bro. Says, I think Howard wrote a lot of things to appease his sources, but I think the one chapter may have been his own real opinion, which is a good point, dude, because it does seem like, think about it, folks. That makes a lot of sense. And thank you very much, brother, again, for the super chat. That is, if I can find my stuff. I can't tell where that went. You guys, if that was number 5, you guys should get some confetti or whatever. If it was, thank you again. Very much appreciated, Moto, for the support. Now, think about that. So you go to these people because you're writing a book, and they tell you, this is how I seen it. This is what I got. This is the information that I want to see put out, blah, 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 so on and so forth. That would make some sense, Moto. Sure, you can use my information, but you better make sure you're putting it in this facet or this frame or this, I don't know, Robin, you're an author, whatever you guys call the format when you write a book. It needs to be this way. This is how I want to see it. So that would make a lot of sense to appease the people that give you the information for it. That makes a lot of sense, bud.
The formatting and so forth.
Format. Yeah. I wasn't sure how you guys phrased that, but that's I see that as a point. That's a good way to put it. It's sad. Yeah. Nope, that was 4 out of 5. One more, guys. One more, and we'll hit that goal. Thank you again, Moto, for that. Very, very much appreciated. Howard Bloom, what I'm waiting for now with Bloom is a new book. I want to see the new book. I can't even imagine how he's going to title this. I think I was right, but I might have been wrong. You know what I mean? That's what I expect to see next from him, because he's changed the story a little bit. So we'll see.
Yeah. Here's how it really happened.
This is what I think might have really happened. He's not going to call himself out. So, hey, Jody. Yeah.
Jody from the Defense Rest, welcome. Man, I still keep saying it all the time. Jody's slaying it in the Letcher County, Kentucky area. She's working every single day. It's like the only thing that she does, and she's on it, and she's got huge leads. I'm leaving her in a lurch because I told her I want to get into this with her, and I want to help bring this to light with her as well, or to support that whole work. But I've been so busy. But I 100%. If Jody doesn't give up on me, don't give up on me. Anyways, we will do something together. I do talk to Jody on a regular basis, and so it's good, Jody, to see you in the house. And in fact, you're welcome to come up and give us an update if you got something that you want to update or talk about the Letcher County case. We can always take a break from Idaho 4. There are other things in the world besides Idaho 4. So
you can always talk even looked recently, and I would love to hear if there's any new updates.
Yeah,
truly.
Yeah.
If you wanna, see other crimes that happen, just open up some kind of blotter for New York City.
Yeah, go look at the Bronx.
We have no shortage. We have no shortage of crime. I assure you.
Police blotter, right? I'm all in, not going anywhere. Wow.
Yeah, I did put the link out.
Now let me drop that over here again, and I'm gonna stress this one time. Make sure that when you come up here, it's just you and not weird pictures of your mother, please.
Yes.
Let's see. So yeah, Jody's slaying it. She's, like I said, she's gonna wait for me. We've got some plans. So I don't So I got something I want to tell you, by the way, because there's people who are coming out saying something that we've been sitting on. I'm going to give a major shock right now, surprise if you, and I'm sure my team was okay with me talking about this, but there's a new book coming out on Idaho 4 called
I can't wait to get it.
Broken Plea by Christopher Whitcomb. He's a former FBI. He's been on many documentaries. He's written books. He's got a lot of credentials and has a lot of stuff. His new book, Broken Plea, hints by the jacket that he's going to question the official narrative. For fuck's sake, somebody's finally going to question the official narrative. I have an exciting announcement. We have Christopher Whitcomb being interviewed, and it's going to be done very, very soon. We cannot publish the interview until the day the book drops, but Christopher as well. I know other people have started to announce that they've got an interview with them. So, and I wasn't going to tell anybody until the interview was 100% in the bag, but I've been assured by the publisher and Christopher that we are getting that interview, and nothing's going to change that. So since other people are announcing that they've got the interview, I'm going to announce as well, we've got the interview. Wow. I will tell you this. I have read the book. I know what's in the book. All I can say is that's going to blow up the fucking internet. So wait till it comes out. I'm sworn by the publisher to not talk about it at all. I cannot tell you a single thing, and I will not violate that, but it will blow the fucking internet up. We've read the book. My team knows what's in it, and we're keeping it tight-lipped, but you do not want to miss this. If you've been a person who's been like, when is somebody going to call out all the fuckery? This is going to be enormous.
Dago, you're ready to have your head explode. You are going to be like, what the fuck? That's all I could say. It is ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. Yep. And our plan. So, I mean, obviously Christopher Whitcomb's dance card is filling up super fast. Our plan was to, we're going to pre-record the show and we're going to premiere it at when it becomes, so I'm not allowed to premiere it until the drop date of the book, which is April 28th. So I'm not allowed to do that. I am going to invite him to be able to join the live premiere, to be there for whatever, but he's got a bunch of interviews lined up for the day that the book comes out. So we're going to actually have him recorded ahead of time so that we can drop that interview. And if he, if he's got a slot and he's not burnt out, I mean, that poor bastard's going to be on every fucking TV show, I think, out there. And on so his dance card's going to be full for a while. The great news is I think that we're going to get him while it's still fresh and he hasn't asked the same question 4,000 times. So I think you're going to like it. We've got great questions. We've already submitted the questions to them. They've been approved. They're excited. We are super excited. And again, keeping our promise to the publisher, we're not going to leak a single thing about it, but we're super excited and thrilled and fucking honored, pardon the French, to be in that position where they trusted us with that. So look out, folks. It's going to change everything. It really is that big. I'm not overselling that. So
I cannot wait to get my copy.
We have it on pre-order. So I mean, I've had it on pre-order for a while, but got the opportunity to interview him, and I thought this is going to be amazing. So
that's a good question, Kim. I cannot
wait.
What's
the question?
Where to go? Kim said, do you think MSM will bite on it? I'll just give my opinion real quick. If it goes anywhere against the official narrative, no, they won't. They're not allowed, in my opinion.
The mainstream media? I mean, I feel like mainstream media is going to have to address them. They're going to have to. I don't know. That book's going to blow up, in my opinion. It's a major publishing house, HarperCollins. They're not a small deal. They're going to, and that book's going to blow up. And so you're not going to want to be the only mainstream media source not asking some questions. So I don't know how they would avoid that. So we'll see. Yes, I got to read the book. Front to back. Memorized portions of it. The book is called Broken Plea. Let me put it up on screen. It's on we had it on screen. Can you put that up? Whoever had it, Robin may have had it. The book's called Broken Plea.
I have a good photo of it.
Yeah, here we go. There, perfect. That's the book. That's the author, Christopher Whitcomb. Broken Plea, the explosive search. And let me fucking tell you, explosive is appropriate. I literally, I think I was maybe 4 pages in when I just about pissed myself. I was like, oh my God, you just like, it's big, people. It's big.
Yes. Can you, some people aren't real sure on him. Can you explain, Lee, who Christopher Whitcomb is?
He's a former FBI agent. He's been, like I said, he's been a consultant. He's been an investigator. He's been a consultant after he left the FBI. He still has colleagues, it sounds like, in the FBI. Who exactly he had as his sources, he doesn't name, but he has full discovery in the case. So he's seen, I can't remember what the volume was, but a great number of the discovery. He's seen autopsy photos. He's seen reports. He has an interview with a prominent person who goes on the record saying things for the first time in his book. I'll just leave it at that because I don't want to. Again, I don't want to violate any of my promises, but he's got an interview with a very prominent person that you're going to want to hear their opinion on this. And they say that this is the first time they've ever said things about this. It's got a lot of bombshells. Again, the reason why the publisher wants to keep it tight-lipped until the very moment.
Sure.
Hopefully nobody's leaking that shit out there and keeping their promises. It's going to be, for them, I think it's got to be super hard to trust because there are people who want to just blow this shit up and everybody wants to be the first, right? Everybody wants to be the first to do it. Right. Now, technically, this guy's the first real book that will give teeth to it. Somebody with credentials who's been on documentaries and been, and he's well respected. And so this is a big deal, in my opinion. Big deal.
And I'll say too, when this was first dropped and everybody started pre-ordering it, we all showed it on our shows, started talking about it, pushing it. Okay. And I've seen a few people make some comments like, oh, it's probably going to be another one of those bullshit books like Patterson's and Bloom's and Green's and us. And you can honestly tell by the way Lee's talking about this. This is nothing like the rest of those books, you guys. So.
It's not.
This is not a hit piece. It's
no.
not a hit piece. No.
And that it's about time somebody come forth and said and is saying, here's the truth, folks. This is how I see it from what I know. And that's very interesting to me. And I'm grateful for that. So, yeah,
this is he's got another book that I haven't read this book. He has Cold Zero Inside the FBI Hostage Rescue Team is another book of his. That's out there as well. I believe this is the same one, Anonymous Mail, A Life Among Spies. Black is another one. Yeah. So these books were listed on when so I haven't read these books, Black and White. There's 2 different books. And then he's got, all these. So he's, again, written books, has been consultant on documentaries and things like this. So this guy has been around and he has teeth. And keep in mind, the guy's been around long enough that he knows what a defamation lawsuit looks like. So when he's saying these things, he can back it up. He knows the shit that he says would get people sued if he can't back it up. So he knows he can back it up, and the publisher knows he can back it up, or the publisher wouldn't back him on it. So
right. Take that to heart, folks. That's a very important point. And Jesse, I'm gonna tell you right now, just from what I read about him and like a couple little excerpts that they put in the thing when I was doing the review on it, when I looked at it, this guy's not a guilter by any means, just so you know.
Yeah.
So don't worry about that.
No, Jody's joining us on stage. We're going to bring Jody up. Hey, Jody, how you doing?
You're muted,
she's
Jody.
Muted. She's muted, Jody. But yeah,
I'm back.
How you doing? Welcome.
G'day. How are you all?
Good day.
Good day. Good evening, dear.
Good to see you.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. Yes, busy but good.
So, Jody, in my defense, the defense rest. In my defense, part of the reason why I haven't been so communicative is I've been reading Christopher Whitcomb's book. I've been putting together the things, working with the producer or the publisher things. So that's part of the reason why I've been less communicative as well, because I've been preparing for that's like been my full-time job away from the job. You know what I'm saying? So been busy on that one. But
awesome. Is it good?
It's great.
Yes,
it's great.
We're gonna have plenty to talk about from
what there are multiple bombshells that you were gonna fall off your seat.
Well, we do like multiple bombshells.
Did you read it? Did you read it 211?
Yes.
Yeah.
I read like 90% of it. I just had to keep reading it. I
Yeah.
sacrificed sleep like a whole night. I read it like almost
good.
in one night.
Oh yeah, and it's great because there's several times in the book, and again, I won't talk too much about it. There's several times in the book when the phrase is said, "This has never been told to the public before." So that's the kind of stuff that's coming out. The public has never been told the following, and it's good stuff. It's big. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
So have you guys been watching the news lately, or?
No,
not really.
I haven't had time to.
My mum rang me the other day. She goes, "Did you see that on Channel 9, love?" And I'm like, "Mum, I don't get a chance to watch regular TV."
Just come with me to work. I'll show you the news.
A couple of days ago, so what is it? It's Wednesday for you today, isn't it?
Yes.
So Tuesday, there was 3 articles that came out, some in Kentucky, but more global news articles as well, about, because you know how I've been saying that these good old boys, the wealthy people that dominate and monopolize everything over there, they're making money off the Title IV funding, you know, the all the Medicaid and all the extra funding you get for it. Basically anything that ends in program, they are abusing.
Yeah.
They've got a dollar sign on their head and they cycle them through the jail, the rehabs. Well, it's come out now that the biggest drug court rehab program over there is ARC, Appalachian Rehabilitation Center, run by Michael Clark, the preacher man.
Yeah.
And Kevin Mullins's baby project is being investigated for $1.7 billion of fraud on the Medicaid in 1 year. 1.7 billion.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
And you actually said something to me the other day about the LLC companies and how easy it was. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That's how they're doing it as well. They've got apparently Michael Clark had 10 LLC companies attached to it. So each one of those can apply for this individual funding. And Kevin Mullins, I believe, I think he was allowed to have so much free reign because he was the brains behind it. He's the one that's got his thumb in every committee that are fine-tuning all the aspects of creating a project that they can apply for new funding for and then not provide the service. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they actually have staff, like previous staff members that are coming forward now saying, you know, we worked there and they're claiming this particular funding for this thing. But really, we were all sat in the room watching a movie and all the support workers were in the office on their phones.
Yeah.
It's coming. It's coming.
It sucks too that in a way, like that's a big story that you're putting together, the money, the funding, the fraud of not telling people what options they have and then trapping it. It's a huge deal. Here's what's sad. Americans tend not to get interested unless it's sex or some kind of major scandal. When you talk about money, they're like, fuck, it's a white collar crime. Who gives a crap? So it's like
it's all tied together, Lee.
It is all tied together. Yeah. Right. They're allowed to abuse people sexually because of the financial scams they're running.
Yes.
So, right. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Well, I was on the phone to Brandy for 3 hours last night, and she has, because she's been involved and her children have had to go through this cycle, she has lists of people that are former ARC employees who have died suddenly because they knew about this. And she's compiling that list as we speak. And that might get leaked somewhere.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Michael Clark is who I'm targeting at the moment.
So I thought he had disappeared or something.
He has. They shoved him up in some ministry, like he's doing good time. There's nothing, like all of his interviews and statements have been held. They're not exposing any of them. So we don't know what he's said and what he knows. But he's also Brandy knows at least 6 women who have been assaulted by him in the courthouse as well, in the same MO as Ben Fields.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
So much for love of God, huh?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yep. Yep. I've got a
These
video
people
of
have.
him. He sent to one particular girl. I know the number. I'm not saying it. And
I
it was
saw.
just him. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I saw that. Made me want to vomit, knowing that
Yep.
this man calls
Yep.
himself a man of God. It's
He's your
disgusting.
preacher. Mhm.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, you stay on it, and I'm hoping that when we get past some of this, like I said, we got to get past the interview and the release of the book, and then I believe we're going to have some more time to start. You know, I think you and I should do, at a minimum, you and I should do some long form videos together, kind of laying stuff out for people that are new to it, and get it in a series that people could kind of get their teeth wet if they're interested in it. So yeah.
I'll have to email you my draft. Project name and project image.
Nice.
Real quick, I don't mean to interrupt. Welcome to the sauce, Johnny Walker. Another new meatball jumping in with us. Appreciate you very much, and great to have you in the fam. Sorry.
No worries.
The cool thing about this coming out, though, it's something that I've been working on for ages and couldn't quite put the fine print on it and how they were doing it. And it was a theory of mine, and this to me is great because it's validated everything that I've found.
Yeah, I remember you sent me an article that was showing that you were on the right track. That it's been investigated. So you were ahead of that. You knew it was happening.
Program is linked everywhere. It's through it. If they dig, that's going to octopus out to the jail, to the courthouse, to CPS, everywhere.
Yeah, that's
a
amazing.
dominoes fall.
Looking forward to getting into that more. Looking forward to, this big book in Idaho. For a lot of people that have been sitting around for years on the Idaho thing, I would say that I think people have been waiting for this. They don't even realize what you've been waiting for. But this is a lot of what you've been waiting for right here. So it's gonna change the narrative, I think, a little bit. It's gonna change the questions.
When is it being released?
April 28th.
And can you buy it on Amazon or?
Yeah, you can pre-order it right now on Amazon. I recommend that you do. I really do recommend you do. You're gonna want to have a copy. In fact, I would, and I'm not saying this because we got to deal with we don't have a deal with the publisher like we're getting royalties from the book. Don't get that twisted. What I'm saying is because they've been nice enough to do that. I'm not doing it just because of that. I honestly say, if you've got somebody in your family that's been kicking you in the ass saying you're an idiot, nobody pleads guilty to something they didn't do, and any of those kind of shit, buy a copy for them for Christmas and send with it a return card of an apology card for them to send back to you and say, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, it's $29 Amazon, $29.90, I think. And if you want it on, that's hardback, which is what I always buy. If you can get the audiobook, I think it's $14.90. You can get all released on the 28th. So sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but.
And I do plan on doing some videos on it to tell you about it. Again, I'll have the videos ready for you to kind of like, if you want to binge watch and get a summary of the big blockbusters as we see that at the Devil's Advocates, I'll have that ready to go on the day of the release. So you'll be able to kind of get my thoughts on it right away if you're curious about that. I realize
if we don't mind, with what you know now, how do you think, if at all, it's going to affect the guilters, Lee?
I feel like a percentage of people who are certain that Brian Koberger did it because the evidence is overwhelming. I think a certain percentage of those people are going to rethink things. And so I think it's going to be one of those things that starts the narrative. Like, wait a minute, maybe we weren't told everything entirely. Maybe there was things that the public hadn't known. And again, I had to be super careful not to get ahead of the book. So I'm going to leave it at that. All I can say is I think it's going to change people's opinion. Again, there's some people who you'll never convince them no matter what. You could come out and show them a video of somebody else doing it and they'll still like, nope.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people like that. Once they've made up their mind, people's whole reputation, they've been too shitty to other people. They can't back out from that. I've been shitty to a lot of people about it. They're probably thinking, and there's no way I'm going to admit that I was wrong. So, and I'm not saying that the book is going to necessarily, change everyone's mind, but it is going to make people rethink things. I almost guarantee you it's going to make people rethink things. So
That's what I was wondering, if it was strong enough to at least make people rethink things. That's all.
For sure. In my opinion, for sure. Anybody that's even remotely has any kind of intellectual integrity is going to have to rethink things. But there's a lot of people who don't have intellectual integrity. So
right.
If there is the slightest chance that they could have been wrong, isn't that like, that's the American, you should innocent until proven guilty, you know?
Right.
Beyond a reasonable doubt for a reason.
Yeah. Well, like I said, this, you know, setting the book aside for a minute, even I said when I was I was listening to Brian Koberg take the plea deal, and Hitler said, I want you to hear what they would have presented in court. I was thinking, how the fuck are you taking a plea deal? They literally are telling you they can't place you at the house. They can't fucking tell you how you pick the victims. They can't tell you how you knew the victims. They can't tell you what the motive was. They can only place you somewhere near the house because of cell phone pings. And that's their case.
Yeah. That's exactly what happens in Letcher County. Like these women, they get picked up for nothing. They get told there is all this evidence and this is the only option. You're going to take a deal. And they didn't do any of it. Now they've got a felony and they're doing time for Epsom salts. Literally.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're excited about it. And I wasn't even going to say anything about it. I wasn't going to say anything about it in part because I'm one of those like pessimistic guys that's waiting for the rug to get pulled out from under me. And I keep thinking, okay, so it's only a few days away before we're going to record this, but are they going to find out that, oh, well, shit, that's the devil's advocates? Well, fuck that guy. Like, I told him who I was from the beginning. And I'm like, okay, are you going to pull the rug? And so I wasn't going to say shit. I wasn't going to say shit until it was in the bag. But now I see other YouTubers are saying they've got him in the bag. And I'm like, okay, that's it. I'm not going to be the only one not saying that we've got it as well. And I've been assured that this is a done deal. So again, could anything happen? Anything can happen in this world. This is a dog eat dog world. So who knows? But I'm going to keep my oath. We're not going to talk about things that are in the book until we get to the publishing date. When we get it locked down, we'll be teasing it a lot to let you know that it's coming and it's already done and recorded. So
it looks good to look. I mean, it looks, seems promising. I mean, we submitted questions. They approved. A bunch of the stuff. So
for sure. Yeah. I have no question anymore. I don't have any question that it's going to happen and I can't wait. I really like it's super. I can't wait. I can't wait to share it with you guys.
What are your thoughts on the whole speedy trial thing? What are you guys' thoughts on the whole speedy trial thing? Because we're coming up to 2 years now with Mickey and we still haven't got whether the judge is actually going to stay or whether he's
definitely not a speedy trial.
they've resubmitted their motion to dismiss based on the testimony given to the grand jury and the lies in it.
My thought on the speedy trial thing, Jody, is this: like, so you can waive your right to a speedy trial, right? So when you think, so if you're on the defense side, if you think the prosecution doesn't have all the facts or has a weak case, you don't want to gather anymore. Trial. Yeah. You want to get right to trial and make them have to come up with something quickly and go in half prepared. Unfortunately for Mickey Steins, there's no question he did it. I mean, he's on video and there's no question about the quality of the video. You see him pull the trigger. Like there's really no way around that he did it, right? So in that regard, they don't need to have a speedy trial because it's not a question if he did it. So I would imagine that they don't need to have a speedy trial because it's not like the prosecution.
Well, then it should have been done and dusted. It's like they're sitting on their hands. What are they waiting for? There's no movement at all, and I just get this feeling they're waiting.
Yeah, that is a good question. The question is, what are they waiting for? And that is a good question. Yeah,
you'd think the defense would want to move on this.
Yeah, I don't know.
JJ will know.
It definitely hasn't been a speedy trial.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing rings true in this case at all. Nothing. And I was talking the other day online, like even just. So if Mickey's story about going up and getting lured to someone and having his life threatened and comes back, why didn't he just pull out his gun there, arrest them and drag them back down, And then how would you go, okay, well, someone up in the hills has threatened my life. I'm going to go and take it out on Kevin Mullins.
Yeah.
Right.
Where do you get from there to there?
Well, I mean, I think in part the defense is trying to argue he had a lot of stressors on him.
Oh, absolutely.
And something triggered him in that conversation.
Yes,
Like maybe he didn't go in there with the intent to kill the judge, but the judge said the wrong thing in the wrong state of mind, and he lost his shit.
If you look at the body language, there isn't really any, right up until he points the weapon at the judge. That's when the judge realizes, oh crap.
Right.
There is no anger. There is no.
Right. So the question becomes is, did Mickey go there with the intent to kill, or did Mickey go there and because of all the stressors he was under, something got said and it just set him off and he snapped?
Yeah. Well, the intent's there because he locked the door. Like the intent doesn't have to be a plan.
Well, you're right. You're right. And he but did he lock the door when he first came in, or did he lock the door just before he pulled the gun?
As he was checking
before he pulled the gun out.
Yeah. So again, he may have snapped at the moment just before he locked the door. Like that was the
reason they're going down that route is because that definitely takes the death penalty off the table.
The mental health issue.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
And it should change the premeditation factor in it too, in my opinion, too.
Probably, yeah.
And I think that's what they're going for, is that Mickey Stein's it's the equivalent of an extreme emotional distress. It's like he had a moment where he temporarily lost his mind, and so that's what they're doing for the defense. And that
the leading investigator told the grand jury that he believed that Mickey is in active psychosis. Now he's the lead investigator. He doesn't have the qualifications to be able to do that. So the grand jury indicted him on this information that he's not qualified to give. That's what the grounds of the dismissals are. So.
All right. Well, hey, I think it's about time for me to wrap up. As I said at the beginning of the show, we have a lot going on in our family life right now and a lot of things to do still this evening. So we got very little sleep last night. We still have things to do late tonight. We've got to go by and visit family. And so I'm going to wrap up here. Jody, thank you for coming on the show. Stay at the hard work. We'll get together.
You're free tomorrow night at 8:00 Eastern Standard Time. Pop in because I'm addressing with Brandy and I are addressing the articles about ARC. So you're welcome. I'll send you the link.
Very cool. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Appreciate it, Jody. Thanks for coming.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. All right, guys, let's do some closing. Again, I wasn't really prepared to do the announcement of the book right now, but on the backside, I was told that the other creators are announcing it. And I'm like, so are we just going to sit there and pretend like we don't have it too, while the other creators announce that they've got it? So
I don't think you had
they kind of forced my hand. It's a dog eat dog world. And honestly, this is going to sound like an arrogant comment, but I wish we were a bigger channel because more people need to see this. We've got a great opportunity. I feel like we've got outstanding questions. It's a disappointment that more people might not see it, but we'll see. Like, this is going to be a big deal. And I think that I honestly feel like we're going to probably have one of the better interviews you're going to see with this guy. We've got great questions, and it's going to be good stuff. So. All right, let's go around the horn. Let's go Dago 1-1, Robin, and then myself for closing. Dago, you got first shot. What do you got for closing tonight?
Thank you guys for joining us as always. It was an interesting conversation for sure. Appreciate the ability to be here as always. Thank you to the moderators. You guys are amazing and very much always appreciated. Again, we couldn't do it without you, so thank you for that. Thank you to everybody that joined us in all the way around. You guys are all very much appreciated. Guys, don't forget to love yourselves and love each other. Please don't change a thing because you guys truly are the beautiful people just the way you are. I hope you have an amazing rest of your night, and we will see you very soon. God bless.
All right. Thank you so much. And for some reason, my controls, I think, are getting a little harder. 1-1. What do you got for closing?
Great stuff. We were gonna try to keep the special interview under wraps for a little bit longer, but it's gonna be something really special when it comes. I wish we could talk about some stuff that's in there, but we can't. but I'm just dying for the feedback and all the discussions that are gonna come from it, because there's stuff that comes out ever so often. There's an interview with the frats or this or that, but there's a lot of very you know uh I'd say what a meat on the bone, I guess. There's some solid stuff here that I don't see how it can be ignored. So it's going to be very interesting to see what occurs from that. But um thanks for all of you that come out each and every night. Hopefully, I hope you guys, whoever got the membership that I gave out. Lee has amazing content for members. You just take a look at the channel. He's got all kinds of members only stuff. Some book reviews, and some stuff it's a little deeper dive or a side that he doesn't, that we don't really maybe discuss on a live, but some really good content on there. I think you will appreciate it. So definitely take a look at that. Appreciate all the mods, all of you, Amanda, Essie, and all of the meatballs and Dago's people as well. And of course, everyone on the panel as always. I will give you
movie trivia.
Your movie quote. Okay, it's from the early 2000s. It's a tough call. They're so different. Something funny? No, nothing. It's just both those belts look exactly the same to me. I'm still learning about this stuff, and this stuff? Oh, okay, I see. You think this has nothing to do with you. You go to your closet and you select, I don't know, that lumpy blue sweater, for instance, because you're trying to tell the world that you take care of yourself too seriously to care about what you put on your back. But what you don't know is that the sweater is not just blue. It's not turquoise. It's not lapis. It's actually cerulean. And you're also blithely unaware of the fact that
Devil Wears Prada, somebody said. Is that it? Is that it?
Yep, that's it.
Nice. That was I don't know if somebody got it before Seahawks fan, but Seahawks fan got Devil Wears Prada. And then sausage biscuits.
Sausage biscuits got it at the same yeah.
Oh, they did. They got it just before Seahawks fans. Dang.
Yeah.
Has anybody else got it? I saw the one. Yeah, for sure. All right, there you go. I just given the credit to the wrong credit, or I don't know who got it first. It's not about who's first, unless it's the interview. Anyways, just kidding. So, all right. Well, thank you for that. Appreciate the movie trivia. And Robin, what do you have for closing thoughts?
Yes, we appreciate you guys coming out so much every night. We can't thank you enough for that. And to all those on the replay crew, we appreciate you as well. So don't lose sight of that. But yeah, hold on to your hats, folks. Hold on to your hats. This interview is going to really be something. We're very appreciative to Mr. Whitcomb for agreeing to sit down with Lee and give an interview. So we can't thank him and the publishing company enough. So just like I said, hold on to your hats. So and thanks to our mods, and thank you to whoever gave out memberships tonight on both channels, 1-1 and Motoman. And so thank you guys so very much. We appreciate you all for all you do. And I hope everyone has a fantastic night.
All right, perfect. And for myself, I will close with saying that thank you for everyone who wished my wife and I condolences and words of that type for us. We appreciate that very much. we're doing well with it, but it is a struggle. I've had to notify other family members. That's probably even the worst part. We were prepared for it, but having to tell other people that are just kind of finding out about it, that's probably the most difficult part. Thanks for sharing your time. I really recommend one more time that you guys go out and get yourself a copy of that on pre-order. I again can't say much about the book, but I will tell you it's unlike any book you've seen written on this. It's unlike any documentary you've seen on this. This is not a hit piece. This is serious questions by a serious researcher with serious discovery in his back pocket, making serious change of the story. So you need to read this. You will not be disappointed. So get a copy of that. And thank you so much for everybody coming out. Have a great evening and see you next time.